All right, let's talk headphones. Today we're going to pull back the curtain and look at the absolutely incredible journey a pair of headphones takes, from just a simple sketch to the thing that's literally pumping your favorite music into your ears.
You know, it's this amazing mix of art, some serious acoustic science, and, yeah, heavy industry. So, have you ever really thought about it? How does a simple idea turn into the sound filling your ears? Well, let's dive in and find out.
So you might think the story of a headphone starts on a factory floor, right? Nope, it starts way before that, inside the mind of a designer. Long before any materials get ordered or a single machine powers up, there's a whole list of super important questions that have to be answered.
First up, they've got to figure out the headphones, well, its soul. Who are these for? Are we talking about a studio professional who needs every single note to be perfect and accurate? Or is this for, someone on their daily commute who just wants great sound and to block out the world? The answer's here. They change everything about the final design.
Okay, so once they have that direction, the engineers jump in. They use this special software, you've probably heard of it, CAD, to build a digital 3D model. They're obsessing over the inside shape of the ear cup, because that's the acoustic chamber that's going to shape the sound. Then, they fire up the 3D printers to create the very first physical versions. And you know what they're testing first? Not just sound, but something just as critical: how does it feel on your head?
Now, once the design is locked in, we get to one of the most intense and frankly expensive parts of this whole thing: tooling. So what is tooling? It's basically the process of creating these super precise, custom molds for plastic parts and dies for metal parts. This is a massive commitment. There's no turning back after that. And when I say the stakes are high, I mean it. Just one set of these steel molds can easily cost over $50,000. Yeah, that's more than a nice car, and it can take months to get them just right. This is literally the point of no return. You get this wrong, and you've just wasted a ton of time and money.
Okay, so the molds are finally ready. Now the factory floor just explodes into action. This is where all those raw materials, plastic pellets, blocks of metal, get transformed into the super precise pieces that are going to become the heart and soul of the headphones.
And let's talk about that heart. The absolute core of any headphone is the driver. Think of it as a tiny, powerful speaker. Its one job is to take an electrical signal and turn it into the sound waves you actually hear. And honestly, its quality, it's pretty much the most important thing that determines how good a headphone sounds. Period. And putting one of these together is it's a marvel of tiny engineering. First, a machine winds this copper wire that's thinner than a human hair into a perfect little coil. That coil then gets glued to a super thin, lightweight dome called the diaphragm, and the whole thing gets suspended right over a crazy powerful magnet, just waiting for that jolt of electricity to start vibrating and making sound. Now, what about the outside? The ear cups and the headband. They're not just there to hold everything together. The inside shape of that ear cup is actually a carefully designed acoustic chamber. It's built specifically to fine-tune the sound before it ever gets to your ears.
And this is where you really see two different worlds. For most headphones, they take those expensive steel molds we talked about and inject melted plastic pellets into them. It's super fast, super efficient. But for the really high-end stuff, you might see a CNC machine, that's a computer-controlled cutter, carving the whole ear cup out of a solid block of aluminum. That's how you get that premium, sturdy feel.
But hey, it's not all just about sound and structure, right? Modern headphones need brains, and they've got to be comfortable. The brains part comes from a circuit board, where robotic arms place all the tiny chips for Bluetooth or noise canceling. And for the comfort part, big blocks of memory foam get sliced into those perfect donut shapes and wrapped in soft stuff like protein leather. That's how you get those cushy earpads.
All right, so all the different pieces have been made. Now it's time for the grand finale, the assembly line. This is where it all comes together. It's like this intricate dance, turning a box of random parts into the headphones you'd recognize.
And on that assembly line, you see this amazing mix of robotic precision and skilled human hands. The driver gets carefully sealed into the ear cup. Then someone has to do the delicate work of soldering these tiny wires. The ear cups get attached to the headband. It's all a very specific, step-by-step process to bring the whole thing to life.
But hold on, we're not done yet, not by a long shot. Before a single one of these headphones gets anywhere near a box, it has to survive what I like to call the quality gauntlet. It's a whole series of tough tests to make sure it's absolutely perfect.
And this quality control thing, it's not just something they do at the very end. Oh no, it's happening all the time. They're testing the raw materials when they first arrive. They're checking for little scratches or defects while the headphones are being put together. It's a constant process at every single stage.
You know, arguably, the most important test is the audio test. Every single pair of headphones gets put on a special rig with microphones. A computer then measures exactly how it sounds across all the frequencies and compares it to a golden standard, a perfect reference model. If it doesn't match up, it doesn't pass.
And then there's the fun part. Well, not for the headphones. To make sure they can handle real life, they pull a few from every batch and basically torture them. I'm talking machines that twist the headband thousands of times, press the buttons tens of thousands of times, and drop them over and over. They simulate years of abuse to make sure the ones you get are built like a tank.
So after surviving all of that, after passing every single test, the headphones are finally ready for their big journey to you. The very last step is the packaging, getting them all boxed up and ready to ship out all over the world.
So in this final stage, every unit gets a careful cleaning, a little polish, and is then nestled into its box with all the cables and manuals. And from that moment on, they start their trip across the globe, from the factory to a warehouse, and eventually right into your hands.
So when you think about it, from just a sketch in a notebook to this massive global manufacturing effort, it's pretty amazing, isn't it? The journey of a pair of headphones is really a testament to what we can create. So here's a thought. The next time you put on your headphones and press play, what will you be listening for? Maybe, just maybe, you'll hear more than just the music.